Yo, what's going on guys? Dark Illusions here, and today what you're going to be watching is a video I came across recently entitled Believing God in 5 Minutes, Scientific Proof. Today we're going to be taking a look at this video, digging into it a little bit and see how true these claims are.
My name is Gerald Schroeder. I have a, thank God, a strong science background from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, bachelor's, master's, PhD, 7 years in the physics staff, seen a whole range of atomic bombs detonated, moved to Israel, met my wife, Barbara Sofer, a great writer, and then teach Torah and science. So luckily, I'm lucky that I have the two that come together.
Yeah, your very particular beliefs seem to come together so perfectly with your particular profession. Isn't that right?
And one of the questions that I'm asked as a scientist is, how can a scientist really believe that there's something what we refer to usually as God? You know, is this metaphysical whatever acting in the world or producing the world? And the irony is, the question's really a non-starter. Science has in fact discovered God. And you can talk to the hardline atheists and they will say, it looks like science has indeed discovered God.
Yeah, let's not get too hasty with our conclusion jumping. By using the words "in fact," he makes it sound as if what he's about to say is an accepted scientific claim, when it isn't. His specific interpretation of scientific evidence does not make it an agreed upon scientific consensus. Only when things have been tested, scrutinized, shown to be true, and accepted by the scientific community can it be considered a scientific claim. This is far from it.
And how would that be? Well, if you take the trouble of going to the web and there type in WMAP, the initials for a satellite, it's a diagram that shows the development of the universe from the creation over time. It's a timeline. Every word on that diagram comes from the NASA site. It is the condensed knowledge of the scientific community of how the universe created and how it got to where we are today. Each of the lines, the vertical lines, is another billion years. Okay, you start from a burst of energy at the extreme left side of the diagram, and you end up at the far end with the oval. The oval is to indicate expansion in all directions. Of course, because it's a timeline, we can't show that on a single piece of paper. We see here, most amazingly, that on the extreme left edge, it shows a beginning to the universe. Now go back less than 50 years. If I were teaching that at Tech, a person could lose tenure saying that there was a creation of the universe. It sounds like it's Bible, because less than 50 years ago, the overwhelming scientific opinion was the universe is eternal. There was never a beginning.
Yes, science has the ability to change over time as we learn more and more and more about the universe we live in. That's the beauty of science. Science can adapt to new information and account for it. What we see from many religions, however, is the denial of new information in order to keep the credibility of the religion. I'm not saying that this is what he's doing, but I'm just pointing that out.
The Bible is wrong from the very first sentence.
Oh, you got that right.
And then we discovered, suddenly, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, the Bell Labs in New Jersey, the northeast of the US, discovered the echo of the Big Bang, the energy left over, which George Gamow, 60 years ago, predicted that if there had been a universe created hot and small, it would have exploded, and the energy would get more and more dilute. And Penzias and Wilson, these Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson, discover this energy that had been predicted overnight. The Bible got it right. There was a beginning to the universe.
Cool. Your ancient storybook begins with the words, "in the beginning." Equating that to a major scientific discovery and giving the Bible credit for that is like reading a fairy tale that begins with, "Once upon a time, there was a man." Look at me. I'm a man. It's a time. The fairy tale must be right. Furthermore, why doesn't the Bible tell us about the Big Bang? If it's all truth, written by an all-powerful God, why doesn't it tell us about genetics, the germ theory of disease, the laws of physics, anything scientific that we know to be true?
Now, the black in the diagram is nothing. It's not a vacuum. Vacuums are within that diagram, within that cone of expansion. Vacuums are empty space, and space is something. The black of the paper around the diagram is nothing. It doesn't fit in our human brain, because humans think in a box made of time, space, and matter/energy. No human as clever as they might be, as expansive as they might be, thinks out of that box.
On this, I agree. Humans cannot even grasp the thought of nothingness, like pure, complete nothingness. The closest I think one can get is to try and imagine a time before you were born. And even then, you're not even close.
So when we say outside that diagram is nothing, we can use the words, but we can't conceive of nothing. It doesn't fit in the human brain. How are we going to have this idea, is there a God or not? Notice that the creation force isn't a three-letter word, G-O-D. If you look at the words carefully, it's a quantum fluctuations. That understanding was first brought down by Ed Tryon, brilliant human being, in the journal Nature, almost 40 years ago. The universe allows creation of something from nothing, provided you have the laws of nature, the quantum fluctuation. Tryon realized, and he published in the journal Nature, one of the two leading peer-reviewed journals in the world, that you can create something from absolute nothing, provided you've got the laws of nature, quantum physics and the laws of relativity. In other words, the laws of nature.
Notice how he generalizes these forces as the laws of nature. This is a logical fallacy known as the fallacy of equivocation. The fallacy of equivocation occurs when a key term or phrase in an argument is used or changed in an ambiguous way. He's being more evasive than anything, and this is so he can make the following four assertions that he's about to list without us trying to question them. Or so he thought.
So look what science has discovered. We can create the universe from absolute nothing, provided we have the forces of nature. Now the laws of nature, the forces of nature aren't physical, they act on the physical. So if they create the universe, that means they predate the universe. So now we have a set of forces, we call them the laws of nature,
Quantum mechanics.
that are not physical, that are able to act on the physical. They create the physical from absolute nothing. And they predate the universe, which means they predate our understanding of time. Put that together and it sounds very familiar. If you haven't noticed it, that's the biblical definition of God.
He's simply renaming quantum fluctuations God. But why? We have names for them. They're called quantum mechanics. We understand them quite well, not saying perfectly, but there's certainly no mystery. This is similar to what deists do by saying God is the universe or God is energy. Notice how he lists his credentials in the beginning of this video. It makes us think, this guy is a really intelligent scientist. He has to be right. This is known as an appeal to authority logical fallacy, and he's playing it very well here. As of right now, there is zero scientific evidence for the existence of any gods. Simply relabeling quantum physics and quantum mechanics God is not proof. While we don't fully understand quantum physics, we know enough to say that this man's claims are completely absurd. To say that scientists have in fact found God is like saying biologists have in fact found unicorns. There simply is no evidence for the existence of any gods, unicorns, fairies, any other mythical being you can think of. And simply relabeling quantum fluctuations as God is not proof. And you, if you are the scientist that you claim to be, would know this. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any more content. And also, let me know in the comments below. I mean, what do you think of this argument? Do you think that his points were valid? Do you think that I could have done better refuting it? Let me know. Also, if there's a video out there that you see that you want me to refute, be sure to just link me the URL. I'll take a look and maybe it'll pop up in a future video. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Have a good day.